African Americans here in Indianapolis. The book examines the daunting and horrendous historical events African Americans living here endured between 1820 and 1970.
Yeah, the book drops today, and joining us is author David Leander Williams. Sir, thank you so much for being here with us.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
You and I were talking yesterday about Black History Month and how we bring out pictures of Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman in February, and then they end up getting pushed aside and arguably thought about less than perhaps they should. Tell us about the importance of the message of this book.
Well, what I want to do is I wanted to empower a lot of the younger generation who really have no idea about their history or their culture, and this may be responsible for some type of destructive activity. To know who you are, know your history, love, embrace your history, and you'll feel better about yourself. You know, even if you have been miseducated.
When you think of educating people on some of the figures and the organizations that are, some even have roots here in Indianapolis, why is it important for you to just spotlight some of those figures, some of those people, and some of those places and those organizations?
Because they're local. You know, growing up, you know, I went to the segregated schools from kindergarten to high school. You know, we would have, you know, Negro History a month, and we would focus on maybe not the local great leaders. So what I want to do, I wanted to highlight the fact that, true, we have, you know, Dr. King, Frederick Douglass, Mary Bethune, but we have local people here who we should hold up with high esteem. So that was my major focus.
Can I drop a name? Wes Montgomery. We've got a picture of him, I know.
Yeah.
I'm curious too with the book, the stories that you tell. What can we expect when we read this book and really diving into those stories?
Well, you'll get a factual history of historical events in Indianapolis. It's unvarnished, and I hit to the core of the issues. There's parts that are very, very painful, but they're very, very real. You know, I want the people to know the real history and not something that has been masquerading around as the real history.
And so often when we talk about whether it's the civil rights movement or African American culture in general, we're very focused on the Southeast United States and Selma and all of the things that happened there. And there is every bit as much a rich history here in the Midwest that does not get heard as much about.
From civil rights? Yeah, well, I highlight many of the great civil rights leaders during our time period. One in particular who I have a personal is Andrew Ramsey. Mr. Ramsey was my Spanish professor at Attucks High School, and he was also, he wrote a column in the Indianapolis Recorder for 30 years, and he also was the leader of the NAACP here for years. So he was really, Dr. Andrew Brown, Coach Graham Martin. These are people who are very, very important to me, and I really respect them greatly.
When you look at what you put together, what makes you proud of this book the most?
What makes me proud is the prospects that this book will empower a lot of the younger people to know their history, to know from whence they come, and to celebrate their history, to make them feel better about themselves. As my research has made me feel better over the years about my true history. And I had to go to Africa to really understand my true history when I made comparisons.
Wow.
I think this is super interesting because it's part of our Facebook question of the day. We're asking people, what would they tell their 16-year-old selves? Given your history, your story, looking back to when you were 16, what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Well, I tell them that be very, very careful how you interpret your history. For example, can I tell you an example? When I was about 16 years old, I went to I had a buddy named Boo Ellis. We went to the state fair. Do we have time to do this?
We have about 30 seconds.
Right, let's do
But anyway, the images there were of snakes and tigers and Africa. So you would automatically, subliminally, would think, this is your background. They'd have people who would play roles of
They're going to end our show. He is David Leander Williams.
Thank you
The book
so
is
much.
out right now. African Americans in Indianapolis. It's awesome. Check it out.